Hi, my name is Keith. Welcome to How to Build Your Own Home. We are at a new job site. We'll call this the Veyo job, which is kind of the volcanic area of southwestern Utah and Veyo, Utah. There's a Veyo pie place, world famous, just down the street. Maybe we'll have a pie there sometime. I'll share it with you. I will enjoy it, and you can enjoy watching me eat that pie. Anyway, we're at a new job site, and we're literally putting in an access to the home site, which is causing a lot of work just to cut in a road. We've got boulders anywhere. In fact, if you've ever seen the movie Shrek, the character Donkey, that's a nice boulder.
I like that boulder. That is a nice boulder.
Everywhere I dig, oh, there's another nice boulder. So we're running into boulders everywhere. If I had the opportunity to sell these boulders for money, I'd be making a lot of cash. So I'm going to walk you through this drive, what I'm thinking about, things you might want to think about. Again, I talk about this a lot. There's a home site selection checklist and things you should consider before buying a home site. Sometimes we just get pulled in because it's a low price, not realizing there's a kicker on the backside. That kicker is excavation costs, which is what we're dealing with on this job. So here's the entry, the approach. We've already used several piles of road base. We're actually creating an access into the road up here, but we didn't want to go straight up, because if you just go straight up, eventually it's going to get washed out and you're going to have too much of a steep incline. So we did some switchbacks, and I'll show you why we did that and how that benefits the whole build side of the house. Let's walk up here and I'll show you. Okay, as you're thinking about the layout, a lot of the times the plot plan just doesn't work at all. You can see how this was going to be too steep to even get up to the pad, and we do get snow in this area, and if there's a half a foot or even 6 inches of snow, they're not going to get up there to their drive. So we have a switchback here. We're turning left. I didn't want to take out this cedar. I want to leave as much cedar as we can. So we have a switchback. We turn left, and then we're going to switch back and come back up to the pad up there. This allows for a more gradual incline. I don't like to have a steep drive. I've seen, even with concrete, it's just something you want to avoid. I actually bid a home, interesting story, where a gentleman asked me to bid the home, and it came into like almost $2 million. And he says, "Why is the price so high?" And I go, "Your elevations." "So what about my elevations?" And I said, "Well, when you back out of your garage, you're going to have to hold your foot on the car door to make sure it doesn't slam on you, because your incline is super steep immediately leaving the garage." He goes, "You're kidding." "No." "Well, how come that's not on the plot plan?" "It is on the plot plan. You're just not reading the elevation." So it shows the street elevation, and then it shows the elevation of the pad. It's a massive change, And we see that two-dimensionally, but you have to read it three-dimensionally. You have to actually see what the elevation change is and how far it takes from point A to point B to reach that elevation. And do you have a subtle grade to get there? If you don't have a subtle grade and it's written on that plot plan to be very, very steep, you've got a problem. And sometimes this is not caught or it's not seen. So let's walk up here and kind of see how this grade is. So you can see right through here, it's actually a nice grade coming up. I've actually driven on this. My tires didn't spin out. And then we're going to actually take this grade and have a much wider turn coming all the way through here, and even take this road and push it out 2, 3, 4 feet, so we actually have a nice wide turn. And this is the only spot where you can see where I have a subtle incline, and we're only talking maybe 8 or so feet, but that's not so bad as a long one that's 40 or 50 feet long. So we shorten it up by having an incline here, and you can see where the pad is right up here, and we're cutting into the hill. And a lot of the time, geography will define more about the layout of the house than an architect doing a plot plan on a two-dimensional surface. So we ran into some massive, large boulders, and according to the plot plan, that's where the septic was supposed to go. Well, we obviously can't go there. That's a huge cost just to move that to put a septic. So we're adjusting the septic over here, but I'm actually thinking of putting the septic over here if I can get some cooperation with the other landowner who is adjacent to this lot. So you'll actually make some changes once you get on it. I got a bee flying around me. I'm like Scotty Kilmer on YouTube. He always talks with his hands like that. He's kind of a funny guy. So we're making some adjustments because the lay of the land kind of calls for that. And you can see we're actually going to plow right into the hillside here and go all the way and take all the dirt and expend it out. We've had some really good rain. It was really dry for 5 or 6 months. And I had to run a sprinkler up there for 3 days straight just to get some moisture penetrating at least 2 to 3 feet into the hillside there. Well, the rain came on top of that and it really helped. So we're going to plow through this, try to get some level grade. But I am worried about, if you look at the topography of the hillside, I did talk with some neighbors and they do have some flooding. They do have runoff that comes right off the hill. But if you look here, we're right on a kind of a bluff right through here. So water comes through here. We got a dry creek bed situation there. And the water also comes off to the side and comes over there. So we're going to utilize this bluff and keep the water running to the south and running to the north and not running right into the home. On top of that, as I do build it out, we're going to take some large boulders here and start to build a wall that way. But I still may do a 2 or 3 foot concrete retaining wall. I'm still thinking about that. I really want to keep the water away from the home. You know me in water. Water's the enemy. So this is what we're going to do today. Try to see how much we can plow through. But thinking about the land, when you come up here, you can think about how you can position it. And a lot of times we don't realize how much dirt is actually going to get moved. We have moved quite a bit of dirt already, and we've got a lot more to move. But we're not taking out any trees. We're utilizing the natural landscape. I haven't really taken out a single cedar tree. So we're utilizing the natural layout, and it's going to be beneficial to everybody. So this is what we're going to try to finish off today. This is a new job in the Veyo area of Utah, in a Brookside community off of just north of Veyo, Utah. And I'll give you some posts on this. This is another complicated build. I tend to get the real complicated ones, but I don't mind. It's a challenge. This is Keith Couch with How to Build Your Own Home.